Welcome, everybody. It is Moneyline Madness. I am Andy B. I'm here with Matty C. Matt, how we doing?
Well, I'd be lying to you if I said that my day is as good as it possibly could have been. It's not a victory Monday, therefore, it's not living to its full potential. I don't have an MLB team playing in the ALCS or NLCS or
Who
NLCS.
cares about baseball right
now. All I have is my preseason New York Knickerbockers. That's really it. That's all last night proved to me as well, is that they're the only team I can even count on in the slightest. But other than that, the weather's nice. Another sunny day in the great state of New Jersey. Andy B., how are you feeling?
I kind of feel the same way. I'm excited about the Celtics, obviously. We talked about them coming up.
Yep.
College basketball is right around the corner. So you ask me that question in a few weeks, I'll probably be in a much better mood because we'll have basketball every day, obviously. We'll have a sport to watch every day. I'm not a baseball guy right now. My team's out of it. I'm not interested with any of the teams playing, so no, I'm not on that. But, I'm pretty good. How about we get into some of this this NFL Monday Night Football game. I don't know about you. I'm interested in the game. But, betting-wise, it's so tough because these are two very similar teams.
They're really extremely similar. They're both we know we're going to see some offense, but at the same time, it wouldn't shock me if we saw another primetime stinker because they're two teams that, despite them having a ton of firepower, they haven't found consistency whatsoever. I mean, the consistency problem for the Chargers comes in their health. It comes in the defensive aspect of things, their play calling especially. And then your questionableness for the Cowboys comes in your quarterback. Dak Prescott. I mean, is his ability to throw the ball something you're going to be able to rely on tonight? CD Lamb, a guy that likes to go missing.
He's a guy I want to
I think tonight is going to be really important for him to make a statement.
Yeah.
Now, one thing we notice about CD Lamb, sometimes we talk about this with guys like Stephon Diggs as well. CD is a guy that likes to perform in the first half of games, and then come second half, he's just missing entirely.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed he trends in is that you'll get 60 yards on 5 receptions out of CD in the first half, then all of a sudden, you don't hear about him until the fourth quarter when he finally catches a ball. So,
yeah.
I don't know, you have a lock that you're going with tonight? What do you think?
So far, I only have one bet on this game. I haven't completely looked into it to make actual decisions. I'll probably have a same game parlay on it, but I don't know how much I'll put on it. But I do have we had a no sweat bet on FanDuel, and I put a first touchdown scorer because hey, I hit one yesterday, so I was like, why not?
Let's
I'll do it again.
About it. Hell yeah.
Zay Flowers yesterday, big time. That was huge. But yeah, today I have CD Lamb first touchdown scorer, and the reason I have this is. Look, you just talked about how he does disappear in games, and yes, he's a first half player, and he's a guy who was so successful in the slot, right? And obviously now with Amari Cooper having been gone and him kind of having to be the number one guy, he hasn't proven it, right? Everybody talks about Jerry Jones, what he talked about with Amari Cooper and what he said about him. It's kind of earned. CD hasn't been a number one yet. And proven that he's more of a slot guy. He got pushed out of the slot when they signed Brandon Cooks. He's better in the slot than Brandon Cooks is, but Brandon Cooks is a slot receiver. Obviously, CD is the number one guy, and it's unfortunate the slow start. But tonight, I think he comes out. Usually, when your name's in the media, you come out early with some fire. So hey, a first touchdown score, that's a plus 1,000. So I took that. I put $10 on it. I was like, why not? We'll see what happens. But in terms of actual picks, this is such like I said, a tough game for me. I'm leaning Chargers.
Okay.
But that's just because they're home. I don't know how the winning.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I don't know if I'm going to pick a side necessarily in betting wise. One thing that I do want to touch on is CD Lamb caught the first touchdown the last time the Cowboys were a primetime game. I had a bet on I think that was last week, right? They were on Sunday Night Football last week. I had a bet in for a first touchdown, and it was CD, I think, that caught that one. And I think I had Tony Pollard. I don't even remember. They played the Niners, I believe, last week. It was either I had Tony Pollard or I had Brandon Ayuk. I don't know why, those guys are in my head, but they are. Tonight, I got to say, there's a FanDuel boost right now. That's plus 1187. It's an Eckler, CD, Pollard, and Allen anytime touchdown. And now, if there's anything that I've learned, it's that you want to fade these boosts with anything possible.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
4 anytime touchdowns has me thinking that we could be seeing a smashed under in this game.
Yeah.
The prime
what
time.
is the over-under? Let me actually look. Oh, it's 50 and a half.
50 and a half. But right now, the
Yeah,
odds are shifting on that. So,
look, I want to be very transparent about the fact that like the Cowboys defense is not as good as everybody acts as if it is. All right. The numbers don't back it up, right? They have a reputation. I have them on fantasy. They've gotten a lot of points on fantasy, but their numbers, the reputation they have isn't proven by the statistics. They're not great in any of the major statistics that you would look at. They're not great in any of the DVOAs. Like, they're not a super statistical great team. So, yeah, maybe you're looking over in this one because it is a great offense they're facing and Eckler's back. But, man, I'm not looking at this being a game that we're looking at like 35-27. I don't think that's happening in this game. This is going to be a relatively low-scoring game. I was a little surprised last night's game was as low-scoring as this. It feels like there's just less continuity and offense in the game right now. I don't know about you. The games have been fun to watch, but I wish there was a little bit more offense happening in the end.
I mean, aside from the 49ers, occasionally, because I didn't even look like it this weekend, has there been an offense that has come out week after week and just looked like, it has a scheme that it's been following and everything's clicking? Like, it's been a shit show. Yeah,
the teams you would think would do that would be the Chiefs, the Eagles. They're not getting it. Those two teams are not great offensively. A team I expected to be a lot better than they've been is the Ravens. Ravens haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. They barely snuck that game out yesterday. They have a tendency where they'll have a drive where they'll go 75 in 2 minutes. They'll look great, but then they'll go 3 or 4 drives so they don't do anything. So, yeah, they're a team where it's like they're not figuring it out either. Nobody's figuring it out on offense. You're right. There's nobody that is coming in consistently week after week, dominating on offense like we'd expect to see. Even the Dolphins, who obviously they put up points, but they have to because their defense is just so bad. There's no team that is playing every game 4 quarters full-time football. I'm not trying to overreact with the 49ers, but kind of their lumps got proven last night. Without McCaffrey, they were awful. Like, Brock Purdy can't lead that team. Yeah, he can't lead that team. Brock Purdy, if he's forced to throw, they're going to be in trouble. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be, but they will be if it happens.
I mean, but then again, I can't rag Purdy because he put his team in field goal position. At the end of the day, he got his team to where they need to be to win that game. The Ravens still aren't comfortable in their new offense.
No, they're not either. They're not.
There's nobody out there that's like really showing firepower. I got a bet I want to run by you, though, because I think this is my lock of the night. Mm-hmm. Here we go. This is a 2-legger. But I'm watering them down to get some value here. Mm-hmm. 2 very watered down picks to be safe. I'm going Josh Palmer over 3 receptions and 40 yards. And those 2 together comes out to -118. It's an extremely safe bet. You look at the past 2 weeks, he's had, with obviously Mike Williams having his season ending ACL injury. He's had 7 targets and then 8 targets, 66 and then 77 yards. I really like the volume that he's been getting, and a lot of these targets are now looking down the field more. Obviously, with Mike Williams, he's a downfield threat. He's there to replace him, and then Quentin Johnston's going to slide into the slot, being that he's the younger receiver. Palmer's the number 2 guy right now, and he performs well when they're at home, just like we saw last week. So I think, before the bye week, I'm sorry. I think I really like Josh Palmer to get that tonight, and -118.
Yeah. I like that, yeah. I like that. That's a guy that I expected to have a lot more volume after the injury, obviously, to Mike Williams. And, yeah, I like that one a lot. Yeah, I agree with what I just said. Most second-year quarterbacks can't lead a team, and Matt's point that they made the field goal. Look, respectfully, they were facing P.J. Walker. Like, they should not have had a close game in that game. And I blame the offense. Like, the defense did a good job. P.J. Walker really didn't do anything. Like, the Browns' offense didn't do anything. He threw a terrible interception. They still wound up kicking a field goal off of that. Like, they did not do enough offensively to they should have won that game. They should have covered. I had them covering. They would have covered. I would have won like $70. They didn't cover. They lost the game. They set them up for a field goal, but that's a game they probably should have won by 10. I know it sounds greedy, but you just beat the snot out of the Cowboys. You've beaten the crap out of most of the opponents you've played, and then you come out in Cleveland. I know it was raining, but still, it was. Yes, it's a good defense, but I'm sorry. They were supposed to play a lot better than that. You're probably not going to see a defense in the NFC as good as the Browns. I don't love what I see from the Eagles. Their health has scared me, but Man, I don't know. It's weird to me. I feel like the Lions look like maybe they might be the best team of football, and that makes me sick to my stomach.
That is kind of disgusting. I can't lie to you. Probably from a Packers standpoint, even more disgusting. But nonetheless, I mean, this week was kind of weird. We said that the slate yesterday wasn't exactly the best. So I guess we'll see coming this next week. There's a lot better matchups that we're going to be previewing, obviously, on Sunday, and we'll be talking about. But I don't know. This week was kind of I'm not overreacting, like you said, to the 49ers loss. The Eagles,
no, I don't know.
That was scary. That was extremely scary.
Yeah.
Something that I had told Meech earlier that day. I'd seen him, and I said, you have to dominate for me to be convinced that you are a legitimate team. The Eagles, the difference between this year and last year is that their offense doesn't come out. Like we said, there's no offense that's coming out and shooting on all cylinders. And the Eagles are one of those teams that was dominating everybody last year. And now all of a sudden you come out and you can't even beat up on a stinky Jets team. Like, I get the defense is great. I understand that. But Zach Wilson has them out on the field, has that defense spread so thin on the field that, I mean, how do you not capitalize? The guys are probably exhausted in the second quarter. Time of possession, you're running it up on them, but you can't put points on the board.
Yeah, I look at those two situations differently. I look at the Niners and I look at the Eagles very differently. The Niners, it was the first time we saw them struggle. The Eagles have had games where, like, they didn't look good. Like the Bucs game, they looked all right. They could have been better. There's been games where, like, Jalen Hurts has not proven that he's that guy that deserved that contract. Like, look, to me, that was a 1 year. We saw Jalen Hurts have such a great year. Regression was expected, but what we saw yesterday would give me fear if I'm a Philly fan. This is not an overreaction. It's been every game so far. He looks to run too much. He hasn't been throwing the ball well all year. It's not an overreaction if you're looking at the Eagles right now and you're saying, well, maybe they're not as good as we thought. They're not. That's simple. They lost to the Jets without Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed. They lost to Zach Wilson-led Jets. That team is not good. All right, the Jets are still not a good football team. Their defense is fine, but, like, they didn't have their defense there. Their two best defenders were not playing. So, yeah, I don't look at that as an overreaction, and I don't know about Dak. I'm not touching a Dak over-under right now.
I got something I want to run by you still. Like, I'm not touching player props really like that. The ones I said, Josh Palmer. I'm not touching props on Dak or Herbert. I'm not touching props on CD. I know Andy said his anytimer. That might be as far as I would go.
No, I said first.
Or first. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm not touching anything on those guys. I'm picking Palmer, and then I got this other one that I want to run by you. And this is another reason why I think this could be a stinker tonight. Each team to score one touchdown and one field goal in each half.
I took it a week from today. I took it a week last week. I took it in the Packer-Raider game. It's a trap. It's a trap. You feel good about it.
It has to be cash. Especially at plus 2,200. You feel like it has to cash.
You feel like it should.
We are getting a stinker tonight.
You forget how you don't realize. It sounds so simple, right? You don't realize how often it doesn't happen.
Look at last night. The Buffalo Bills.
It just doesn't. It's not something that.
It's one of the featured game specials as well.
Yeah, that's why I took it, and I got laughed at work for it. But look, you would think, like, that's only 2 scores and a half. You're going to get the ball like 5 times each half. You'd think it's that easy. You think it's that easy, but it's just not. It's a hard sport to predict for that specifically. So no, I'm afraid of that special. I'm never touching that special again. Maybe for the Super Bowl, because that is something that probably happens often in Super Bowls. You kick the ball a lot in the Super Bowl, but yeah, no, I don't like that one at all. That got me last week. I put like $5 on it, thinking, hey, I'm gonna come away with an easy 100 or whatever, and didn't happen.
No, sir. But, all right, I think that's going to cap off our Cowboys-Chargers talk.
Yeah.
Unless you had anything else, I really am. I'm interested to watch this game.
It's going to be a good game, yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm more interested to watch tonight, and that's Diamondbacks-Phillies.
Oh, are you really? You're going to watch?
I'm tuned in, baby. I'm tuned in. Honestly, as much as I hate the Eagles and I dislike the Sixers, growing up, my best friend was a Phillies fan, and they would bring me to games. They had season tickets, and they would constantly bring me to games. And it made me actually like the Phillies. I got a signed hat from Ryan Howard. I got a signed Cole Hamels. They would those guys would always rehab over in Lakewood, close to me in Tom's River at the Cause. So I just came to love these guys.
Yeah.
So therefore, I don't hate the Phillies. I like seeing them succeed. I've loved Bryce Harper since, I've wanted him to be a Yankee.
Yeah.
Another guy that I saw at Blue Claws when he's playing for the Greensboro Grasshoppers, the affiliate to the Washington Nationals at the time. Man, this one it excites me, but I don't know. Like, if I'm a Phillies fan, I am not taking this Diamondback squad lightly. I think we even talked about them at the beginning of the season. Just how talented, like, they're young guys, but man, like, I know David Peralta is probably sick because he was the original young core of this Diamondbacks team. Obviously, he was over in LA. They got spanked on by this same Diamondbacks team. What do you feel?
We have we did a 3 TV setup in here, so I'll have it on. It'll be on mute. I'll look at it. I think when I did the show with the Sauce Network yesterday, and the guy that their MLB capper, I don't want to steal his pick, but this was Toast. He said Philly's first 5 was free, and I kind of agree. I think they have so much momentum coming in that at least early in the game they might come out, get an early 2-0 lead, and coast for a little while.
And you got Zach Wheeler on the bump.
Yeah, late in the game, maybe you'll see something, but I think the first, I agree with him, the first 5 is free.
First 5 is pretty free, yep.
Now, in the series, look, I think the Diamondbacks are way ahead of themselves. I think they're a year early. I thought they were 2 years early, to be honest. I don't know. I didn't think they were here. I don't know how they have the pitching. They don't have the pitching. I don't know how they're doing this right now. And we've seen this happen before with teams where you just don't quite have the pitching to go all the way. And I think they're a team that has it. So I think the Phillies probably win this in 5. That's my honest opinion about it. Like, I do think it'll be a quick series. Didn't expect the one that's going on right now to be as quick as it is because right now it looks like Texas is spanking them. That makes me sick to my stomach. But
I enjoy it as
it's going to be
somebody who watched the Astros trounce my team. Like, do you remember a year ago at this exact time when I texted you that I was going to the ALCS? I went to New York. I went to the Bronx. I sat and I watched the Yankees 8 innings without a hit. All I had to my name was a fucking tendy bucket. That was it. Disgusting work. And then Matt Carpenter hits a little blooper. So it's good to see the Astros get beat up on a little bit now. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for Mets fans because it's you're basically picking the lesser of 2 evils at this point. Do I want to see the Phillies win the World Series? No, but honestly, that would affect me less.
You're rooting for the D-backs, realistically.
I'm rooting for the D-backs or Astros, obviously. But I've always been an Astros supporter. I don't think what they were doing was wrong. Like I think you should be able to do it. Everybody can take. I think cheating is fine. Like, I'm okay with cheating in sports because everybody's doing it. If you can come up with a way that works the best, fine. Like, I love when recruiting scandals come out because, like, I love that. Like, fucking cheat. I don't care. Like, do it. If you find the best way to cheat, fine. Not like in relationships, but like in sports. Like, fine, just cheat. That's fine. Don't clip me on any of that other stuff. But, I'm not.
See that one.
No, but yeah, I'm fine with what the Astros did. So I don't hate on the Astros, and obviously I don't want to see the Phillies go to the World Series again. That made me sick last year. So I would love to see the Diamondbacks. Do I expect it? No. But if I see the Phillies win the World Series, I think I'd actually prefer that than seeing Max Scherzer win a World Series. Max Scherzer's my least favorite Met of all time. Like, it came down to the way he left, the way he acted when they traded him was little bitch boy stuff. Like, that's what it was. So
and now he's getting backpacked.
And he hasn't done anything. Yeah. And also, but a guy I would feel happy for is Jacob deGrom, but I would want Jacob deGrom to be playing. I don't think guys that are hurt getting their first ring, I hate it. Yeah. So I don't love that. But yeah, I'm obviously full on the Diamondbacks Astros train. Right now, that doesn't look like the train to be on. But right now, it looks like you're getting smacked by the train. But yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know.
You brought up going to New York, man. I gotta ask you, MSG. You've been to MSG a few times in your day, right?
It's about to. I'm just above double digits.
Just above double digits. I'm looking St. John's, UConn in February in basketball. Dude, it's going to be insane. Ticket price is $212 is the one I'm looking at. I might actually just say fuck it. Like, I have never. Dude,
there's no doubt in my mind because the thing is, especially MSG, you can make a day out of it. Like,
yeah, that's what the plan is right now.
There's this other place over there. You have to go. I know you obviously love some good pizza as well. It's called NY Pizza Supreme. Mm-hmm. It's right across the street from MSG. Yeah. Stop in there. They have this pizza called the Fra Diavolo. Right? Ooh. It's a little thicker crust, square. It's got a nice layer of cheese, and then they top it with spicy cupped pepperoni, some Parmesan, and then a little hot honey.
Oh, I like that.
It's fantastic.
That sounds good. You're making my case as to why I have to do this. We're looking.
Oh, you have to,
dude. I'm obviously I'm juiced up for college basketball, and we're gonna talk. Like I'm gonna talk college basketball. I'm gonna be doing a show every day with the Sauce Network, and we're gonna talk our college basketball here too. Dude, I'm locked into St. John's. If you're a college basketball fan, if you're not a college basketball fan, what?
I mean, now's the time.
Yeah, if you're not a college basketball fan and you want to get into it, the team I would recommend you root for, if you're around here specifically, root for St. John's. They have they have everything you love about college basketball. They have the cheating coach that re-emerged from going from Greece. They're in Queens. Dude, they're in Queens, New York. Everyone's going to hate them. They play at MSG. Dude, everything. If I wasn't a Georgia Bulldogs fan through and through, you see it, Anthony Edwards right there. But I'm in on this St. John's team. I can't wait to watch that, man. And that just reminded me when you said you were going to the Bronx, man. I'm even looking at like going to their game against Vermont again in Queens, like at Carnesecca Arena, because like it's a pain in the ass to get there, but like it's $70. So I'm even that like I'm all in. Get ready. Basketball is here almost.
It's here. It's almost here. I'm smelling it. I could smell the MSG popcorn from here. Oh man, it's so
I've heard wonders about the MSG popcorn.
It's fantastic. It's so good that my dad was like, when you go, bring me back a box, and I did. I still have the bucket upstairs.
I've never been to MSG, and I'm very, very. this year I'm going to be going. If it's not for that game, I'm going to the Big East tournament this year.
We're going to Knicks Celtics. That's it,
dude. Yeah, we're gonna look at that like everything. Like I want to get to MSG a few times. I've never been. I've lived here my whole other than I was like 6 months in Georgia, but like lived here my whole life. Never been to MSG. This is the year I want to go. Like
it's on the bucket list.
Let's go.
Let's do it. But I think that's going to cap us off for today. Anything else you want to touch on?
No, I think I'm good. I hope everybody that's into the game tonight enjoys the MLB game. I'll probably be watching more of the NFL game, to be honest.
I'm going to have a little two screen action going on. The wife and I are going to Wizards Celtics on 30th.
Let's go ball game. Let's go ball game.
And let's give a little public. I don't have the soundboard. It's over across the studio from me. But let's give a little clap it up for Imain. Congratulations. He is expecting a baby on the way. So that's super awesome. We love seeing, guys of our team and our family at Mo Sports thriving like that. So that's super awesome. We're excited to bring another little Mo Sports member to the squad. And we'll get him video editing early, so we could pump out a little more content for you. But that's gonna wrap us up for today. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Hope let's go Phils. I think that's Double R. I believe that has to be the one and only. Or no, Double R signed in. I think. Who's saying let's go Phils? Interesting. Little Phillies fan. I don't know. I'm on the Phillies train too, so I feel you. Whoever it is, let's go Phils.
Yeah,
let's go Phils.
Yeah, let's go Diamondbacks.
Anybody but I guess Andy's two guys are who. Oh no, it is Double R. I'm not tripping. We'll catch you guys later in the week. We're gonna have a little update on Mo Sports TV as to when we're gonna do that. We got we had a little issue today with some stuff, so we're gonna come back and see if we could manage to do it tomorrow. If not, we'll probably see you guys then on Thursday. Nonetheless, me and Andy will be back, of course, later on talking about some more football. And this is a crazy little way to cap off the episode. But
I'm honored.
We love even the haters.
I'm honored.
I bet that's Ed too. I almost guarantee that's Ed. But thank you guys. Take it easy and enjoy Monday Night Football. Peace.